Close encounters of the seventh kind are the stuff of nightmares. Reports of alien fetuses torn from their human mothers' wombs.
I was literally taken out of my bedroom in Union City, and I was taken on board a craft. More importantly, they introduced me to children that they said were mine.
The category Close Encounters of the Seventh Kind was created to help explain the phenomena where people are reporting they're not only having communication, involvement, abduction, but they're also involved, they believe, in some sort of hybridization program.
And as I'm looking at these children, they're absolutely beautiful, but they're not all the way human. This gray, thin skin that he has in his face, it's a much bigger head, a bigger skull, and these giant eyes that are so deep and so profound. As soon as I made eye contact with them, I began to recall all of the memories that I had had with them previously, times where I had been on board a craft, experiences that I had physically.
I interviewed her, and we had a voice stress analysis given. I looked for other explanations. I looked for high EMF fields in her bedroom, anything that might cause hallucinations, disturbances. I didn't find evidence of that. One thing's for sure, Geraldine believes that this happened, and I don't think she was part of any hoax.
It may even have been the motive behind the first well-documented abduction case in history. In 1971, newlyweds Betty and Barney Hill were driving through rural New Hampshire when they saw a strange object in the sky. A silver pancake-shaped craft getting closer and closer. The craft transmitted a buzzing vibration, and according to the couple's report, they went into some kind of state of altered consciousness. Next thing they knew, 2 hours had passed, and they had no recollection of what happened during that lost time. Until they went in for hypnotherapy.
They put Betty on a table, and the examiner produced a needle. She said, "What are you going to do with that?" He said, "Just a pregnancy test." He plunged it into her navel, causing so much pain and trauma.
Meanwhile, Barney was subjected to a series of equally painful and humiliating tests. Could they have been among the earliest victims of an alien program meant to harvest human reproductive cells? And if so, to what end? Since Geraldine became aware that she was part of a hybridization program, she started a support group for other victims. Little did she know, hundreds of women just like her have been hiding their darkest secrets in plain sight.
Hi, my name is Erin Montgomery. I am a marriage and family counselor. I live in Montrose, Colorado. I have been an ET contactee since I was a small child.
Hi, my name is Christina Vogelsang, and I live in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Melanie Young from El Paso, Texas. I've been involved with ETs since the age of 3.
While many victims of the hybridization program are still afraid to make their stories public, these witnesses have agreed to tell their stories for the first time.
When I hit puberty is when the hybridization program for me started.
I just learned in the first part of 2020 that I am part of the human hybridization program.
I wasn't aware that I was part of the hybrid program until I was in my late 30s, where I had an experience in which a baby was removed from me, and I was very emotional.
And it's not just women used for this breeding program. 30% of reported victims are men.
My name is Gabe Salomon. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I discovered that I was a part of the hybridization program around the time that I was 17.
Regardless of age, gender, or geography, all these survivors have one thing in common. Their experience has been horrific.
When these experiences started to first happen, as you can imagine, there was a sense of fear and anxiety, paranoia.
Upon waking, I had bruises like fingerprints on my inner thighs, and my eyes were very swollen and red.
After my return, I had several physical symptoms, ailments that ranged anywhere between migraine headaches, seizures, nosebleeds.
But perhaps the most horrifying aspect is the reason for this program. Some believe the hybrid program was part of a deal cut between the aliens and the U.S. government. According to Ike Eisenhower's great-granddaughter, Laura Eisenhower, the deal goes back decades.
Supposedly in 1954, there was a meeting at Muroc Air Force Base, and that is known as the meeting with the Greys and the Greada Treaty. They presented themselves as a dying race and seemed to have possible diplomatic intention, but just needed a few things in the exchange for advanced technology, but it ended up getting out of control.
According to Laura Eisenhower, the U.S. government allowed the hybrid program to target certain individuals, which may explain why victims like Geraldine have been visited over and over again.
Within the past 6 months, I had become pregnant again. The day that I believe that I was inseminated, I had contact experience in that I was going for a walk and I saw craft. I met with these incredible, strange beings. People call them tall whites, very, very tall, about 7 foot tall. Very, very white skin with these long robes, very iridescent kind of beings. This happened consecutively over 3 days. And as a result of that, going into a pregnancy that was terminated, of course, not in a miscarriage.
In order to better describe the horror, Geraldine has done a painting of her most recent experience.
This is just a quick painting about an experience that I had in which one time when they were removing a fetus out of my body, I was on a metallic slab. When I was able to look through the side to the right of me, I saw walls and walls of these incubation tanks with fetuses of different sizes, different colors.
Could the aliens be growing an army of hybrids?
If the activity's increasing, does it mean that we're being prepared for an ultimate disclosure, for a melding to our space brothers and sisters?
My initial question was, why me? But what I quickly realized was that there was nothing special about me. It was just something that actually a lot of women were experiencing, hundreds.
Could all these women be part of an alien program bent to harvest reproductive cells? And if so, to what end?
Are we on the cusp of evolving as humans? Are they here to enlighten us and to help save us? Or are they here for nefarious purposes? Could this be the end of our existence?